I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Just a little one today. Hi guys, and welcome to the Cutting Room Floor podcast. I'm Laura, and I like all things Marvel, murder, and marine. And joining me each week will be my co-host Brian, and co-creator of this podcast. He is awesome, and what he doesn't know isn't really worth knowing. So let's get on with the episode.
Hello, fans and other people who are listening who could be fans. You know, if you wanted to, that's also fine. Welcome back to TCRF Pod, the cutting room floor. The cutting room floor. The cutting room floor.
Ooh.
I'm trying a new sportscaster thing that was all terrible. I'm never going to do that again.
Okay, thanks.
Hey, how's it going?
Right, it's got really chilly recently. Now we're in September.
Yeah.
The weather has turned and it is chilly, but it means I can get my hoodies back out, so I'm quite happy.
Yeah.
Hoodies and thick socks.
Sounds
and
good.
boots. Boots and cats and boots and cats.
Go on, keep going.
Boots and cats.
I'm kidding. I'm not gonna rap. That's something I'm not prepared to do right now. Although, give me heaps of money and I will.
Okay.
I
don't have heaps of money, sorry.
That's alright. Yes, it is cold. The sun has buggered off because it's England, so it was only around for a little while.
Yeah.
But, you know, we took advantage of what we could. You know,
Yeah.
we got a barbecue planned for the end of September. Or Bry, sorry.
Bry.
So, hopefully
The
the
weather will
weather's
be
good
nice
for that. For
yeah.
sure. Right.
What are we doing today?
This week's topic. Well, because the film It, not just the film It. Because the film It, I've literally had a stroke. I don't know what's happening.
Do you need a reset?
Yeah, baby. Fucking hell. Anyway, yes. So the film It, the new remake version of the TV miniseries from back in the day that is based on Stephen King's evil clown Pennywise. The film comes out in this country on Friday, and I wanted to do a rundown of my favourite horror films as a sort of preempt of this.
I'm not a huge horror film fan, so my list is rather exhausted quite quickly. Brian has a much longer list, but I've seen a few horror films and I can appreciate some, but I will not be seeing it because I do not like clowns.
Yeah.
Whether they're clowns in disguise or they're, murdering psychopaths, I don't like clowns.
Well, do you like clowns that are actually secretly giant spider aliens from space?
No. They're probably my least favourite clowns.
Sure.
Because I also don't like spiders.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Good point.
Talking of which, I forgot to tell you, there's a spider in the bath in my sock, and I can't get the sock out because the spider's sat in it. So once we've done the podcast, I need you to sort that, please, because I want my sock.
Are you being serious?
Yeah.
Do I have to? I don't.
Not like right now, but like later.
Oh.
I would like you to get the spider out of my sock, please. Thank you very much.
Alright.
Let's now talk about horror films.
If I don't come back for next week's episode, you'll know that the spider got me.
Yeah, it's a big one.
If Laura starts introducing like a co-host that is a spider, then you'll be 100% sure.
Yeah.
Because, she's traded me up for evil spider, who she's... It's a trap, is basically what I'm saying. I'm really concerned for my life.
That's it. Okay.
Call help. Call 911. It's okay because we're in the UK and people are idiots. So if you call 911, it will reroute you to 999 just in case.
Let's get on with this.
Right, yes. Yes, right. Well, this is the top 10. Which means that I chucked the headphones on the floor. That's what it means. No, it means that the rules are there are no rules, and these lists are subject to change whenever the hell we feel like it.
Yeah.
If Laura can find 10 more, unlikely.
No.
If Laura wanted to, she could change it. Yeah, whatever. I mean, there are some good horror films out there. I like a lot of them.
You love pretty much all of them. I think you there are a handful that you didn't enjoy, but
yeah,
most of them you really like. And yeah.
I mean, just a brief thing. Most of the good horror films are old horror films. All of the new horror films are terrible. Not completely true, but most of them are terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are so many that are just
bad.
Yeah, I guess it's really easy for horror to feel derivative. I don't know. It's not fun. That's my disclaimer. I'm really sorry if you like modern horror films.
Brian doesn't.
Neither of us do.
But I think mine are quite on the modern side of things, because I won't watch anything probably later than like 2000. Yeah,
that's true. As soon as the HD goes, your eyes squint and you're like, what is this?
Why am I watching this?
Why am I watching the past? It's true. I mean, I tried to get you to watch Psycho and you were like, oh, there's a remake, and I was like, no, you're going to watch the original one, and you were like, no. So we did watch the Vince Vaughn one, which is fine, but it's a shot-for-shot remake, completely pointless. Are
you going to start or shall I?
Right, yeah, we should start. I'm babbling. No,
you are. I'm keeping us on track this time.
You're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Well done.
Go on, start.
Right.
You start.
I'm literally dragging my feet even more. Dawn of the Dead is my number 10. Boom.
I've never seen it.
Like on stage.
I've seen Shaun of the Dead.
Unrelated.
Oh.
Really good film, in fairness, but horror comedies aren't really on our list, are they?
Okay.
Shaun of the Dead is great, though.
Yeah. What's Dawn of the Dead about?
That was more of a question about horror comedies not being on the list, because there's some decent horror comedies on there that I didn't put on my list.
No, I haven't put any on there. Okay. No, we're going to ignore that. What is Dawn of the Dead about?
Dawn of the Dead is a zombie apocalypse.
Basically. Oh, I don't like zombies.
Then these people get held up in a mall, and it's great. It's the mall is kind of a fun place to be sort of held up and trapped, because there are so many different sort of survival ways to survive and some of the characters aren't bad. That's kind of it, really. It was really good for the time. It had some really great action scenes, and it wasn't massively overdone at the time. So now every zombie movie is just the same and terrible in every way. There is also, just because I've just remembered, and it's not on my list because I don't know why. There is a series of zombie films that are Spanish called Rec, and it's just REC, like you're recording on a camera. And the first one of those and the second one of those are really good. They're really good horror films. They're not on my list. Now they sort of are tied with Dawn of the Dead. But no, Rec is a bit different. There's like an apartment building with a spiral staircase, and it gets like CDC quarantined, and then SWAT guys go in, and they don't really know what they're in there for. And then there are zombies, and are they zombies or are they demons? Kind of. It's good. It's really good. Watch it. Watch the sequel. There's a third one which is just mental. They're all great. The third one takes place during a wedding, and it's just like, what's going on? What? Yeah. What about you? Number 10.
Because you said I could change, I have just changed because of what you said. And my number 10 is, and I think this is what it's called, Devil. Is that the one where they're in the lift?
Oh, yeah. M. Night Shyamalan film. That's pretty good. That's a sort of quite a well-made sort of character drama-y thing.
Yeah.
More than anything.
It kind of uses that group kind of bias thing. Is that what it is? Where like if one person says something, like the kind of group goes along with it. You know, like
and it's clever use of confined space. I mean, it's kind of interesting that the plot is that all the people in the elevator are actually have done something bad in their life, and the devil or someone is in the elevator with them, killing them one by one because
they've been nasty.
Because they've been naughty at some point or other.
I really like that one.
It's pretty good. The way it tells the story is really well done. M. Night Shyamalan, that's definitely not his name, and maybe slightly racist. He's really good at building tension in films. He's very good at making you go but then most of his films, they have a game-breaking ending where they're like, oh, here's the twist, but the twist is very much kind of just ruins the whole point of everything you just watched. Split, again, spoiler for Split for the next 2 seconds. Split, the twist is that it's set in the same universe as Unbreakable, which isn't really a twist that's related to the film, so it feels a bit cheap. And also, when you've created a character and gone, oh, this guy exists in the real world, but then you just go, oh wait, no he doesn't, he exists in this comic book universe that we've already created in Unbreakable, so you don't have to worry about it. And, you know, that film is a bit, like, offensive to people with psychological problems. Yeah, so that's a pretty good one, because Devil is one where it's a very isolated story and it's very simple and it works because of that. And it's quite...
What was the twist in it? I can't remember.
There wasn't really a twist. It was going to... The twist is, it was going to be a part of a trilogy, and they never made the other 2 films because everybody hated Devil.
Oh, well, I like Devil.
I thought it's got a good little isolated character drama, but because of that, it's kind of...
But then I guess where could it have gone, really? Yeah. Unless you had another group of people in a lift.
A second elevator.
Yeah.
That's the twist.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good one. Okay, number 9 for me. John Carpenter's The Fog is probably is up there. So some of mine are really old, but this one's from 1980. John Carpenter films are amazing. You should watch them all.
John Carpenter is he does lots of horrors, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Or did lots of horrors. Yeah. I don't know if he's still alive or dead or what.
One of his biggest films was also one of Kurt Russell's biggest films, which is The Thing, and that film is not on my list, but it's basically, again, The Fog is on there just like John Carpenter.
Can I guess what The Fog is about?
Yes.
So I think The Fog, is it about a fog?
Yes.
Is it about a fog that kills people?
No, kind of.
Is it about a fog that makes people go mad and then kill people?
No.
That's all I've got. That it's about a fog.
So it's about a sleepy little coastal town in New England, kind of. I don't remember exactly where the town is, but basically the plot is a mysterious fog rolls over, and inside the fog there are killer pirate ghosts who kill everyone. And that sounds super dumb, but it actually, you know, it builds tension quite nicely. If you can just appreciate that it's a film from almost 40 years ago, that really plays on like synth music and like
Stranger Things does.
Yeah. And it's very much of that era, and it's just really fun. I really like The Fog. I watched it a lot of times with my mum, basically, and so it has a special place in my heart.
Aww.
Next to all his other films, because they're great. Halloween is another really good example of a John Carpenter film that is great. You didn't like it.
No, I don't think I did.
So, the first Halloween film, 1978, we went to see that at the cinema like 2 years ago at Halloween because they re-showed it, and it's showing its age a little bit now. But my friend Lee absolutely loves the Halloween films. I'm sorry, none of them made my list. I'm sorry, Lee. But it's important to appreciate John Carpenter's legacy, because a lot of the names on his film list are all massively recognisable. Escape from New York.
I don't know that one.
Big Trouble in Little China.
I don't know that one.
They're Kurt Russell films as well. They Live.
No, don't know that one.
That's a slightly more modern one. That was about... It's an interesting one because it basically it's about capitalism gone mad, and you can get these glasses that can show you the real things, the real world, and the real world is like aliens have taken us all over with capitalism and marketing. All of the adverts that are like half-naked women holding something going, buy this. When you put the glasses on, you don't see that. You see an evil thing that says consume, obey, and it's all subliminal messaging. And
I don't like the sound of that.
It's pretty fun. The actual film itself is not as good as the premise, but it's cool. It's a cool premise. John Carpenter is very much a granddaddy of horror films. In literally every way. The Fog is a prime example of one you might not enjoy if you don't like the sound of killer pirates in a fog. But there's some really good stuff in there. There really is.
Okay, I'm going to do my number 9 now, because otherwise you'll just talk forever.
I will.
My number 9 is Sin Eater.
Nice.
Heath Ledger is a priest who sort of loses his way, and that's sort of all I can remember. There's a lady in there who kills herself, or does she kill herself? And it's about exorcisms and stuff.
And being a sin eater. And
he takes the sins away from people. I remember now. So as he gives people their last rites, he takes their sins away from them.
Yeah.
And then that means that he's gonna end up going to hell at the end of the...
To heck in a handbasket. No, I don't know.
But I like it because Heath Ledger's in it. And I like Heath Ledger, or I liked Heath Ledger.
Still like him now, I guess, technically.
When he was in films. And, there are some really good actors in there. One of the... they changed the name of it.
Peter Weller is in it?
They've changed the name of it. It's called The Order. So... Some people might not know it as Sin Eater. The name was changed to The Order.
Oh, there you go. Or from The Order. Maybe it was started off in the US as The Order.
Yeah, maybe.
A 2003 film.
Yes. And the lady really likes sunflowers in it, because she thinks that loads of people think they're really ugly, but she thinks they're really pretty.
That was quite good, because it showed that there are a lot of people who are atypical. It's important for them to like what they like. And Mark Addy is in it.
And he's excommunicated, and then he decides that he's gonna become a sin eater. But I really like it.
Yeah,
I can't remember why I liked it, but it was one of the kind of horror-y ones that I really ended up enjoying.
It had a good story, and it wasn't that scary, I guess.
Yeah, it wasn't that scary. I don't like really scary ones.
No, definitely not.
Although some of the lists on my list I think are a bit scary, actually.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. We've actually seen each other's list a little bit this time.
Yeah.
Because I had to help Laura with that.
Yeah, I couldn't remember some of the names of the films that we'd watched.
Yeah, that's alright. 8 then.
Go on, do 8.
1956's Invasion of the Body Snatchers. So,
is that the one? It's black and white, right?
The colour?
Is it the one with the creepy kids?
No.
Oh, okay then. No, I don't know what this one is either.
No, of course it's black and white. So Invasion of the Body Snatchers has very, very, very simple premise, which is in this small town, people are being taken over by aliens.
You got a theme, haven't you? You like films set in small towns.
I do. It's a very Stephen Kingian kind of.
Yeah.
Maine. Everything takes place in Maine.
Your favourite of the horror writers.
Yeah. Though I prefer the books more than the films. Sleepy little town, people are getting taken over by these giant pods that are the size of people that people put under your bed, and when it's never really explained, but when you put a pod under your bed, you disappear and the pod person replaces you.
Ooh, creepy.
It's a bit weird, but it preys on like a different type of horror. It's sort of psychological horror. Everyone could be the enemy kind of thing. Which at the time that I watched it, I never really seen. I'm trying to I've tried to make my list a bit of the older iconic films because they were pretty important at the time.
And I don't know what they are.
Yeah, education all round.
Yeah, you are educating me.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers is actually a pretty solid film, and also it reflected a time in the US where everyone was pretty much convinced that everyone else was a communist Russian.
Oh yeah, so playing on that.
And it was all very much like that. Yeah, but no, solid film with not a happy ending either. He escapes from the war.
Who's he? The alien?
The lead guy. Oh. He escapes without being taken over. When you get taken over, you become an emotionless robot.
Okay.
Basically, that's a lot of things have used it since. You get taken over by aliens, you become an emotional robot. Emotionless.
Yeah.
And so he escapes. He tries to escape the town, and then he nearly crashes into a massive truck. And then he stops the car and gets out, and the massive truck is just full of those alien pods. Dum dum dum.
Oh no!
Yeah, so the world is fucked in Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Excuse me. So yeah.
Okay.
I can't imagine they're going to have a tie-in crossover anytime soon.
My number 8 is what I think started a monumental franchise, The Conjuring.
Yeah, let's talk about The Conjuring.
Which has spun off into The Conjuring. What are we on? Conjuring 3?
Well, The Conjuring 2 is the last one, but they'll most definitely making a third one.
And then we got Annabelle, which spins off from that. Yeah. But I like the first one.
Patrick Wilson.
Yeah,
that lady who's in stuff.
And I think this is very much the theme of my list. I like when the horror isn't the main part of the story.
Yeah.
You know, the slasher films where a man's rampaging with a machete.
Yeah.
The horror is just the point of that film.
Yeah.
Whereas these ones have a good story, a solid story behind them that I can get on board with, and I think that's why my list is the way it is. They all have quite good stories behind them.
Yeah.
And I pooped my pants when I saw that, didn't I? It's that bit where that's the bit where they do the clap, isn't it?
Yes.
In The Conjuring. That scared me so much. We had to stop the film, didn't we? Because I was so scared. And when I was young, I had lots of China dolls. That was something that people would, and they used to scare me silly. I couldn't look at them at night because I was they're going to move. So that anything with a doll
100%
gets me in my childhood place of fear. When I couldn't look in a window when it was night because I was scared that my reflection or there would be something behind me. And anything like that just gives me the willies.
You don't even see that many horror films where this kind of stuff is used freak you out.
No, but I used to be scared of Goosebumps, like, and I'm still scared of Goosebumps now.
Oh, can we talk about Goosebumps for a bit? Oh
No,
my god,
we can't.
I love Goosebumps. R.L. Stein's Goosebumps books that got turned into a TV series.
We're not talking about that. We can talk about that next week if you want, but not now.
So much fun. We don't need to go into detail. The Conjuring is number 3 on my list, and the reason being is because I mostly hate a lot of modern horror films, and that's a modern horror film franchise that I could watch more of.
Yeah.
Including The Nun is coming up, as well as Annabelle. Yeah.
What's The Nun?
So,
is that based on it too?
Conjuring 2, which you have not seen.
Have I not?
No.
Oh.
In Conjuring 2, one of the ghosts who's not part of the main story is a fucking scary looking nun. And I'm going to keep swearing. You disapprove of looking at me. Is a terrifying looking nun who has her own story.
Oh, so then... Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch that one.
So, the nice thing about these films... So I don't have to talk about it, number 3. Nice thing about these films... they come from a very solid foundation of ghost stories. So,
yeah.
Ed and Lorraine Warren are the main characters, and they were real
They're real people, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not saying psychic powers exist, but I'm just saying the stories are good.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they're and also Lorraine Warren was helped them make the film.
Yeah.
She was a big part of the getting them off the ground.
Yeah.
Which is probably good for her career, but great for horror films in general.
Mm-hmm.
And Patrick Wilson is pretty good and stuff.
He was very good. I liked him.
What's not on my list, and I assume also not on your list, the Insidious franchise. The reason they're not on our list is because I don't know. I
didn't like it.
They're very loud as well. They use the old classic kind of really loud noise in your face anytime something scary happens, which really sucks me out of it. If I'm honest, I don't really enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
But the plots are pretty alright. I will carry on watching Insidious films, but Patrick Wilson is in both franchises.
As the same character?
No.
Different character.
Yeah, he's
okay.
the leading man in. But yeah, no, Annabelle Creation just came out.
Oh, you watched that recently, didn't you?
Oh, I didn't watch it in the end, but our friends did and they loved it. And my brother did and he loved it as well.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that will be a one. I don't like going to the cinema to watch horror films. I have to watch them at home where I can put a blanket on.
Yeah.
And like if I need to pause it to like have a little breather. So that's how I watch horror films. We also, much to Brian's distaste, have to watch horror films at about 10 o'clock in the morning when it's all light and I still have time in the day to watch like 3 Disney films to like get my heart rate back down. So yeah, that's my horror movie.
No, that's fair.
Watching.
Oh, carry on.
No, that's it.
Sorry, I cut you off. The only other fun fact about The Conjuring is that the woman who's being haunted with all her daughters, she's the lead character of The Haunting, which is I really like The Haunting as a film, but it's kind of terrible.
I've never seen it.
So,
have we seen it?
If you've not heard of it, the main character is the same girl who's in The Conjuring, same woman, should I say?
Oh yeah.
And Liam Neeson is in it, and Owen Wilson is in it. Catherine Zeta-Jones is in it, and it's like a 90s horror film. Like it's fun. It's not really scary, but it's alright.
Nope, never seen it.
Right, 7.
Do your 7, yeah.
Scream, 1996.
Ah!
You were talking about slashers just then. I don't mind slashers as long as they're well made. Like Scream is quite good because it delves into sort of self-parody a little bit, but it's sort of very much built on in a world where horror films have already become a big part of it. Because a lot of horror films, a really retarded thing about a lot of horror films.
Can't say that.
I'm just sorry.
That's not PC.
A really stupid thing about a lot of horror films is that they tend to pretend like no other horror film exists in that universe. Like a lot of the zombie ones are all like, oh my god, it looks like the dead. are attacking us or something, rather than just saying it's zombies. Oh, we get it. We've all seen a zombie film. It's zombies. Fine.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's pretty good. Like I like the kind of crazy horror fan gone wrong thing.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Cool. My number 7 is As Above, So Below. The
found footage
French. They go into the French catacombs, and it's the levels of hell, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
And the only bit I can remember of it is the burning car.
Yeah.
That bit, and I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah,
like,
that's right. It's
and they all experience their like worst nightmares, don't they? And
one of them is the burning car. I think is a memory of
his brother dying. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, they have like past memories and stuff, and I quite like, again, the like found footage horror films, like those ones more than the like so that's my number 7.
Nice.
I just thought it was, again, good story, interesting concept.
Yeah, no, it wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. I don't really like a lot of found footage ones myself, because I prefer. I quite like good cinematography, and you just can't do good cinematography with cameras. The handheld, it's not going to happen. Which is fair enough. I mean, it's a different type of cinematography, I guess, but
yeah.
My number 6 is Strangers, 2008. The Strangers.
Now, I thought that was going to be your number 1, because you're always going on about how much you love.
Any number of these ones coming up could all be number 1.
Oh, okay.
At any point, depending on how I'm feeling.
But this is the one that I've always heard you go, oh, it's like the greatest horror. It's like my favourite.
The thing about Strangers is that it's one of the few sort of slasher ones that's actually quite gripping as far as I'm concerned. Like some of them like, again, really sorry Lee, but some of the Halloweens and the Friday the 13th, they don't get me as much. The Strangers was something else though. Like the concept of using these, basically a couple go away to a house in the middle of nowhere for a retreat because they are having marital difficulties or something. We're just getting away. They're just getting away together. It's never really explained, I don't think, anyway. And basically, like a family, basically, of people who all wear these very, very plain-looking masks over their face, attack them, terrorise them, and then kill them. That's the entire plot.
Don't like it.
And actually, although I have to apologise to Lee, he absolutely loves Strangers as well, to be fair.
Oh, well, that's alright then.
We were really excited when we thought there might be a sequel, but that was like 10 years ago. So
Aww.
Yeah. I mean, the idea of a murder family killing people might get a bit old. I don't know, but as long as they kept up the tension, like basically they used the masks to place them in the back of scenes, and all you could see was the mask, and so you could tell, like so.
Oh, like that film Hush.
Yeah, a little bit like Hush. Yeah, the Netflix horror about a girl who is
deaf. And she's terrorised by someone in her house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, really quite terrifying film. Creepy as hell. What's your number 6?
My number 6 is one of the only horror films I've ever bought on DVD. The Hollow Man.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Kevin Bacon is a scientist who discovers how to make himself invisible, but in making himself invisible, it sends him crazy and murderous, and all hell ensues, and I think it's great.
It is really good. Yeah, I really like Kevin Bacon and stuff in general. Unfortunately,
I think I missed the point of the film because I was siding with Kevin Bacon.
Like, particularly in the beginning I definitely did, but I think
he was a bit of a idiot.
You may be forgetting the time in the middle of the film where he spots a lady and then rapes her, and then
I blanked that bit out. Thanks. No, I don't want to be his friend anymore.
No, yeah, but actually, the beginning of the film, you're very much like on his side.
Yeah,
which makes it more interesting as a sort of villain. Yeah, because he actually,
and the fact that he's invisible is really good, and like
it's quite well made, and like the CG sort of works.
It wasn't too bad, was it? It's a good, probably 15 years ago now. Like it's quite
old,
an old film. So
I think a bit longer than that actually.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed that one.
I think Hollow Man is older than that.
Is it?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that much.
No, it doesn't matter.
Go on, do your number 5.
1982's Poltergeist.
I've seen the remake.
Sure.
Didn't like it.
The first half of that film was great. The second half.
That's it. It's a film of two halves, isn't it? You start off with pretty good bits, and then it goes to really bad bits, where it's all like they're flying over iPads or something, aren't they?
Yeah, they got a drone and they fly it into another universe, and it's all a bit
weird.
I mean, 1982's Poltergeist is kind of camp by today's standards, but there's some pretty unpleasant
like
scenes.
that bit where the girl's on. Is it a girl or a boy? The little person, and like the hand comes out of the TV. That's like really scary.
Yeah.
And like it's kind of scenes like that where you kind of then forget about maybe the campy bits. Because
there's another bit as well which comes to mind in the original podcast where one of the cameramen, because a family moved to a haunted house and they bring in like some like ghost hunters to try and get rid of the ghost. Pretty much the entire story. But
the ghost steals one of their kids, isn't it?
Yeah, that happens the same in both, I think. Or the kid wanders into the other universe. I don't remember exactly. But the one of the scenes that I am always reminded of is just this horrible, gross sort of bit, which seems a bit incongruous to the rest of the film, where one of the cameramen looks in the mirror and then he starts peeling his own face off and he's like, "Whoa, what am I doing?" And then he wakes up and it's all a horrible dream.
Gross.
Because spirits mess with your dreams and they make you go crazy.
Make you go crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what that wasn't really an accent. That was just a weird.
Was that number 5?
That was my number 5.
Okay, my number 5 is another camera jobby, handheld, found footage, Grave Encounters.
Yay!
It's a bit silly.
That's my number 2.
Is it?
Again, any of these, they change a lot. Grave Encounters is the only found footage film I've actually found scary.
Yeah, it was proper scary, wasn't it?
Yeah. Again, some of the best horror films come from the simplest premise. The Grave Encounters is about a program called Grave Encounters, where they when they go and investigate an asylum, an old abandoned asylum, and it all goes to hell. It sounds really generic, but the scares are really good. The scares are so good. In fact, there's some really good. Like one time when they think they've escaped for everything, they slam themselves into this room, and then the lights flicker on, and then there are just like hands coming out the walls with like millions of hands,
and they can't get out, can they? Yeah, like the doors where they think the doors are, it turns into walls.
Yeah, it keeps messing with them.
Yeah. Well, that was a good one. That was a good one.
And unfortunately ruined sort of by its sequel, which I don't think you have ever seen.
No.
Again, Grave Encounters 2 is kind of terrible. Like, the premise being isolated to evil haunted asylum is fine, but when you try and expand the premise like they did, where they basically were saying that they want to be recorded, the ghosts need to be recorded, and there's a weird whole other backstory to it. Like, some of Grave Encounters 2 is fine, but it's kind of weird. And then the ending of Grave Encounters 2, because I'm doing you a favour, you don't have to watch it.
Thanks, mate.
He's got like all these cameras because other people have gone into the asylum, and it turns out that the guy from the last one who we thought got killed is still there. And
what, in the asylum?
he's just been there the whole time, and
Oh, creepy.
he's gone completely mental,
Obviously.
and he's taken all these cameras and they're floating around his head at the end, and he's like activating all these hell gates. I don't know, like, I got a bit too far for me. I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
But the first Grave Encounters was great, like, really good.
Yeah.
And easily my favourite found footage horror film.
Awesome.
While we're on the subject of found footage, do you want to talk about Paranormal Activity for a bit? And it's not on either of our lists, but it's a big franchise.
I like the first one.
Sure.
Wait. That's the one that has 2 different endings, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, yeah.
Which ending did I watch?
You definitely watched the main ending. I don't know about the other endings though. Like, well, so there are 2 endings to the first film.
Yeah.
To set up the endings, the premise is couple who live in a house together. They get haunted. It's pretty much it.
And they put cameras all up in there.
Yeah, they put cameras up, and weird stuff starts happening. And at the end, the wife gets possessed. So
And she kills someone, doesn't she?
she kills him.
Yeah.
And then
Which is that the one where she's dragged up the stairs?
so the ending is he's thrown up the stairs. The ending that you've seen, I think the theatrical ending, because it was released at film festivals beforehand and had a different ending. The theatrical ending is she's possessed, she chucks him up the stairs, and he flies from literally the bottom of the stairs into his camera, because that's how super powerful she is, because she's possessed or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you hear from the camera audio police access the building, and she kills both of them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where's the one where she's dragged up the stairs?
I don't know. I don't remember what the second ending is offhand.
There's a bit where she's like dragged up the stairs, or maybe
I think that's it. No, I think that must be the second ending. Paranormal Activity.
I think they're quite good. Well, the first one was good, and I think the second one was alright, but then I don't think I like the third one. There's one with children, isn't there? And I don't really like that.
Yeah. So that's the second one where she takes the children. Is that the second one? So the order goes: couple in a house. Second one is different couple. Third one ties both couples together and says that they were kids and friends together. And the second one is the sister. That's right. So
and she's got kids, right?
Yeah. So the overarching story is when they were very young, these 2 sisters, their grandma basically made a deal with the demon to give them both of their souls, or something. And so the third one, I don't remember. There's so many. The third one is about them as children with cameras in the house again.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that one.
It's like none of them are bad. The first one's easily the most boring.
Oh no! What?
It's so slow.
Wait, which one? The first
one, yeah.
Oh no, but the first one's the best one.
People like it because it builds tension very well. I think it's boring.
Okay.
Maybe I was expecting more. I don't know, but as they ramp it up, it gets better.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, and then they made the marked ones, which is a whole different thing, where these kids break into this old woman's house and hit the old woman's a witch, and they get possessed. I don't know. But like, it's such a big franchise. It's not on either of our lists.
We had to talk about it a little bit, didn't we?
Yeah. Found footage. It created a whole new genre of horror films.
Yeah.
And even if we don't like them that much as a genre,
well, they probably would have been like number 11 on the list.
For you, fair enough.
Yeah.
Not for me.
My number 4
yeah.
is another massive horror franchise.
Go for it.
Saw.
Hey, the first one.
The first one.
First film particularly, or do you like them all?
I enjoyed them all. I think out of them all, my favourites would be the first two.
Yeah.
Maybe the third one.
Sure.
But I'm going to go with the first one because that one was just like it's what started it off. And it's just that like where you're like, you think you know it's going one way and then all of a sudden you have a twist and you're like, oh my god,
yeah,
how did that even happen? And like,
particularly when it started, I was really into the Saw films as well.
Yeah.
John Kramer, the
Jigsaw Killer.
Jigsaw Killer, yes indeed. It's kind of a clever premise. Basically forcing people to survive.
Yeah.
But as soon as they hit 4, then it's just like,
it starts getting a little
whoa, why do we need more?
I'm looking forward to Jigsaw coming out in a little while. The new.
Oh yeah. I think it's going to be terrible.
Oh no, I'm holding out hope that we haven't had any Saws for a while.
And they'll
so
make it work.
They'll make it work, yeah.
Sure.
You haven't got any more now until number 1, have you?
I've got a 4.
Oh, you have got a 4.
Yeah.
How did I get to 4 before you got to 4?
You just started talking about 4.
Oh, sorry.
It's alright.
You're number 4.
No, it doesn't matter. Alien, 1979.
Ugh.
So...
I hate space. I hate aliens.
I'm not I kind of like survival horror films, but only good survival horror films. And this film, literally the tagline, in space, no one can hear you scream. Just like
scary.
Great. Actually love old school horror marketing. Really, really, really good film. All-star cast in time as well. People like Sigourney Weaver, John Hurt.
John Hurt, when he gets his
chest
tummy blown out by the alien.
Yes, as we all know.
I've got a fun fact.
Go for it.
The alien in Alien is based on a marine creature.
Oh yeah. Grossy McGrossison.
No.
That wasn't Latin. My fun fact is that the literally everybody knows this, but the chest burster scene where John Hurt's chest bursts, his actor friends are all genuinely shocked and surprised. That's the rumor. I don't know if it's 100% true, but their look on their face is genuine because only John Hurt knew what was going to happen. Only John Hurt and the directors had any idea how that scene was going to play out, which I kind of love. But the alien was designed by a guy called H.R. Giger, and I only know this because of, I don't know, random stuff. What are you?
I'm trying to work out what it's based on.
The marine creature.
I think I know what it is, but I don't want to
You could just Google what is the alien based on.
That's what I have just done.
Xenomorph.
And it didn't come up. You can find it quicker than me.
I can.
I think it's a Hyperidian.
The alien is a fictional endoparasitoid extraterrestrial species that is the eponymous antagonist of the Alien films.
Yeah. That's exactly what I've just read, and it doesn't say it.
Literally doesn't help. Yeah, absolutely useless. Right, so if you've never ever...
Oh, it's called Phronimia. The barrel-riding parasite that inspired the movie Alien.
Gross. Well, right. So the plot of the Alien films is, for anyone who does not know, for some reason, how do you not know? But there's these aliens. They hatch from eggs as a small little crab-like creature with a tail, and they launch at people's faces, ingest their eggs into their people's stomachs, and then burst out of their chests, and then grow into horrible giant
Xenomorphs.
Skeletal humanoid creatures who have weird... Well, I guess they sort of... In later films, they sort of adopt the characteristics of whatever the hell they come out of. A little bit, which is gross. But yes, what I love about the first one is that it's just a stalker film in an isolated spaceship. Like, it's a one evil creature that's unstoppable is hunting these members of this spaceship, and it's just awesome. It's just so good. Really close quarters, really tight knit, and none of the other films, alien films, really have that.
Yeah.
Something that does have it though is the Alien game that came out for PS4 and Xbox One, and it may even have been out before that. I've literally forgotten what the game's called. Yeah, we've since watched Prometheus and Alien Covenant.
I didn't like it.
They're kind of fine, but they don't really feel like they're not that claustrophobic horror, which I guess no one cares about anymore.
Yeah. You want my 3 and my 2 now, don't you?
Go for it.
My number 3 is Amityville Horror.
Ooh,
Ryan Reynolds is possessed by a house that makes him go mad and want to kill his family.
Absolutely. Based off of the real Amityville horror. So, real life events. It's all based on real life events. A weird guy.
Real life events.
Yeah, a real guy killed like everyone in his house.
Claimed that his house told him to do it.
Yeah, it's kind of messed up.
Yeah, scary. Good story. Like, good tension building, I think.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I mean, it wouldn't have made my top only because it's I don't know. It's good for what it is, but it's not iconic in the same way as I'm trying to go for a big list of iconic horror movies. But it's genuinely really good. Yeah.
Number 2, Exorcism of Emily Rose.
So we're getting to the point where these are the few that you've actually seen.
Well, the few that I remember seeing.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I like it because it's not your traditional horror. Like, it starts as a court case.
Yeah.
And what are they doing? They're trying to work out whether she's been possessed or not, or
they're sort of trying to prove possession in a court of law, which is weird. But there's a reverend and
and it's just a really cool premise for a story.
There's some good stuff in there. Laura Linney is in it. Yeah. Do you know who Laura Linney is?
I do.
She's in loads of stuff. Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Oh dear. Excuse me.
So, a reverend is being prosecuted for the wrongful death of the girl that is thought to be possessed.
And they're trying to work out if she's possessed, because otherwise whether he murdered her or not.
Yeah. And whether or not she could have been schizophrenic.
Yeah.
That's right.
It was very good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, awesome. Okay then. Number 1, do it.
Do you want to do your number 1 first, or shall we leave? No, we'll leave yours ones. I'll do mine.
Cool.
What could be classed as one of my all-time favourite films as well, The Others.
2000 and something.
Nicole Kidman and her 2 kids.
Christopher Eccleston is also.
Christopher Eccleston is in it, and I like it because, again, it is not a traditional horror film.
What's the story?
It starts off with a lady and her children
living in their
they move
fuck off big house.
They have a big house, and they think that the house is possessed, and they muddle along, and then at some point the dad comes back, but he can't stay for some reason. He has to go, and as the film progresses, what you actually realise is that they're not being possessed, they are the possessing. So they're the ghosts.
They're not being haunted.
They're not being haunted. They are the haunting.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
They're the hauntees.
They're the hauntees. And
no, I don't know.
the end is that basically... So Nicole Kidman doesn't want to remember it because she killed her kids and herself.
Yeah.
Because
she couldn't cope. Christopher Eccleston never came back from the war.
Because Christopher Eccleston never came back from the war. So he's dead as well. But he passes on. He moves on, but she can't. And she basically just decides that this is my house and we're not going to let anybody else live in here.
Yeah.
And, like, it's not massively, like, scary. There are some really good scary moments.
Yeah.
Like, the one I remembered and I was telling you is, like, there's a bit where they go into this room that has all sheets on it and, like...
She's chasing... she thinks there's like a little kid running around upstairs.
And then you just like you don't know what's gonna happen and it's all really tense and then and it's scary and it's just I just love that film.
It is a really good film. Yeah, I really like that film.
It's not maybe a typical horror, but I wanted to include it and I really, really like it.
Yeah, it's a good choice. The only horror film you've ever owned on DVD.
No, I owned The Hollow Man too.
Ah.
Yeah.
Check you out. We did a little collection of
I had 2 horror films.
Yeah.
Go on, drum roll, what's your number one?
My
Mr.
number one
Horror
is
Film Lover.
another personal favourite. And it's a film called Jacob's Ladder. Jacob's Ladder is...
He keeps trying to make me watch it and I haven't quite got there yet.
Indeed. We'll get there. It's a film from 1990. It is... The main character is Tim Robbins from the lead character of...
Shawshank Redemption.
Yay! Nailed it.
What's it about, please?
So... it's a bit long-winded.
Shorten it.
The plot is Vietnam War happens. A man gets stabbed. He goes home. He struggles to live a normal life, and he has serious PTSD. And he starts seeing things everywhere, like loads of weird things all the time. And his friend, who he was also in the war with, he is convinced that they were dosed with something when they were in Vietnam that made them all go crazy. Because there was a lot of experimenting with drugs to make people more aggressive in war and whatever. And it's a fantastic film, in my opinion. Inspired the Silent Hill franchise of video games.
I wrote Silent Hill on my note things to talk about
honourable mentions, yeah.
I have 2 honourable mentions.
Okay.
Do you want to do Jacob's Ladder first, and then I just want to just really quickly at the end.
Cool. Basically, his experiences get weirder and weirder and weirder, and then it's revealed at the end that he's when he got stabbed at the beginning, he died, and this is just him dying.
Oh,
that's pretty much he died.
So is his friend dead too?
Yeah.
Oh,
they all died. It's possible, like it's really unclear in the actual film, but it's possible that they were still dosed with something that made them aggressive and turn on everyone, and then that's why they died. So
is it a sad ending then?
No, it's kind of nice. He had a son and a wife, and they go to meet him.
Because they're dead too?
They're dead too. His son is dead. No, his
Why
son
are
is
they
dead.
dead?
No, his son is dead.
Why is his son dead?
His son died before he went to war.
Why did his son die?
I don't remember.
Oh no.
So he basically, the end of the film, his dead son, who he has mourned and gotten over, whatever.
Yeah.
His dead son takes him to heaven. That's the end of the film.
Oh, I don't want to watch that. It sounds too emosh for me.
It's good. It's really good. It's really quite weird as well. Like, there are a lot of headfucky PTSD moments.
You do like weird things, don't you?
I do. Silent Hill video games are all pretty solid.
Can I do my 2 honourable mentions?
Go!
So, my 2 honourable mentions are Silent Hill and Evil Dead. And here is why. I will tell you why. These are in my honourable mentions. Because Brian, love him to bits, but Brian, bless him, thought that it would be a good idea to, like, take me to see horror films. One of which being Evil Dead.
The
remake at the cinema.
Yeah, it's from the 2000s. I don't remember when.
How long did I last in that film?
About a minute.
And I had to sit for the rest of the film with a scarf over my head playing Candy Crush.
I think it was my jacket.
On Brian's phone because I was so terrified that I just couldn't watch it.
That's a good honourable mention as well, because actually for a remake it's pretty good. And the visual style is quite nice. The film's very
Silent Hill is on there for a similar reason, because
your mates,
when I was at school and I had a school boyfriend, he decided that Silent Hill was a really good film to take me on a date to see, and again, pooed my pants, hated it, was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. So, and I'm still friends with him. He's married to my best friend. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So those
we
are
got
my
off lucky, is what you're saying.
Yeah. So those are my 2 honourable mentions. Right.
Fair enough. What else? Was there any honourable mentions on my list? Where's the
Evil Dead was one of your ones.
Yeah.
Oh, you had The Witch.
Oh yeah. Okay. So 2015 horror film The Witch. People really, really like this film. Premise is basically there's a witch in the woods and there's a family who happen upon her and she like torments them and it all goes to hell.
Mm-hmm. Is that it?
It's not very good.
You don't like it?
I'm sorry, the world, but like The Witch is just it just was boring as hell. And then weird, and then there's some sort of weird sexual bits that are weird. Didn't like that.
So it's just weird, is it?
It's just not good. Like I like films. I like some films that are weird.
Yeah. And
that was just not good.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a bit literally where the dad gets so stressed out, he's eating dirt. Now I don't really know what's going on in his head. But
he's just stressed out, so he eats mud.
We just fucking lost it at that point. We could not take the film seriously after that point.
He ate mud.
And he was talking as well. He was complaining. He was worried about his family and was like,
so he was talking.
My family! And it was just.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that.
It was just not that good. And even, yeah. Just no. And everyone who likes that film is wrong.
Okay.
That was pretty much it. Right, okay. I think we...
That's our top 10! Yay!
We made it.
I managed to get 10 horror films on a list. Woo! Well done me.
Well done you. Alright, awesome. Yeah, let us know what your top 10s are on everything. On the Twitters, we are at CRFloorPod on Twitter. I am at BDogCarter.
At Speckle_15.
You can find us on Instagram.com/cuttingroomfloorpod. We are on Facebook.com/TCRF Pod. Like us on Facebook. Go on, you know you want to. Rate and review us on iTunes, please. Tell us if you like the show.
Yes, please.
Don't tell us if you don't like the show.
That's fine.
We don't have enough ratings to really to see any of the reviews, so we can't tell if anyone's given us 1 star yet. Basically, is my thing. So I need to know if people are giving us 1 star.
Yeah.
I got problems, man. I need to know. Like us on Facebook, find us on Twitter. Tweet at us your favourite. Our YouTube link is really long because we don't. You need 100 subscribers to have a proper channel name. So I'll link that in the description. Our YouTube channel, which subscribe. You can search Cutting Room Floor Podcast on YouTube. I think you'll probably find us, but we're still quite low in the rankings at the moment. And as I say, the more views we get, the more listens we get, the more reviews we get, the higher we go up the rankings. So more people will be able to find us and enjoy our dulcet tones. We're also on patreon.com/TCRF Pod. If you fancy giving us a little bit of support, you can go there and check out what we've got. We've got tiers and offers and all kinds of stuff on there. All kinds of fun stuff for you to have a look at. That wraps it up. Yes, as always, thanks to our friend TenYearsGone for the music. He is at I am TenYearsGone on Twitter, and you'll know if you found him because
he's got a lovely beard.
He's got a great big bushy beard on his Twitter profile picture at I am TenYearsGone, no spaces. Just a polarized picture of him looking at his computer screen. Right, that is it from us two this week. We'll see you next week, same time, same place.
Bye bye now.
Bye.